I'm Neha. I've been in the development sector for almost 14 years now. And what I'll do today is, in the initial 2-3 minutes, I'll just talk a little bit about what Tech Mahindra Foundation does, and then move into the challenges and some of the opportunities, the way we have tapped in and are still navigating through it. Tushara ma'am has very well outlined some of these things in a keynote, and thank you for getting us started, ma'am. Tech Mahindra Foundation was set up in 2006. We are very soon going to complete 20 years of our existence. And this was, of course, way before the CSR mandate also came into play. That time, the founders of the foundation, which is the board members of Tech Mahindra Limited at that time, they were very clear of a few things, right? They said that women empowerment will be our cross-cutting theme. At any given point in time, we will have 10% of our beneficiaries as persons with disability. Currently, through all our programs, we are standing at 16% of our beneficiaries being persons with disabilities. These were some of the values that, as a Mahindra Group company, we stand by and try to incorporate all of that in the work we do. We are both an direct implementation organization, as well as we fund other NGOs in the sector and build their capacities. Currently, we are doing close to 120 projects, 80 partner organizations, and 27 locations. These are how our portfolio differs as far as the programs go. We have in the education portfolio working with government schools, and Shikshantar is our flagship teacher training program. SMART that you see there is skills for market training. We developed this flagship program back in 2012, and it is one of our biggest programs as far as employability goes. We also work for persons with disabilities and children with disabilities through school education as well as through skilling programs. As Tushara ma'am also mentioned about the whole mental well-being thing coming in post-COVID especially, we launched an initiative called Mind at Ease for our partner organizations for youth in the country, which is basically an aggregator platform where people can come and they can look at different counseling services that are available pan-India. So gender and mental well-being are a cross-cutting theme. In fact, as far as gender goes, our women beneficiaries from 50%, we've managed to take them to 80% now. And we are doing a lot of our, especially in the skilling space, a lot of programs focused on women and bringing them back into the career workforce. This is how the journey looks like, largely for Tech Mahindra Foundation. We, of course, started with funding NGOs. 2016 was a phenomenal year where we got into direct implementation. And after that, we have been having these academies, which are state-of-the-art infrastructure, providing skilling programs to youth from underdeserved communities. Of course, COVID hit, and now we are transitioning into a different model of working in collaboration, which I'll talk about soon. Now, coming to the evolving CSR trends, right? I'm sure most of us here who are from the CSR space must be aware of all these, but I'm going to pick only a few that at least I found significant in this space, starting with this big number, right? It's a universe at the end of it. It is still small compared to the government expenditures, right? But from 10,000 to moving to 30,000 crores, I think it's a big achievement for us as a country. Initially, there was a wait and watch period when the CSR law came out. Companies were like, okay, we don't know what to do, how much to give, where to give, but just seeing that increase. And this is predicted to go up to 120,000 crores very soon in the next decade or maybe 5-8 years. But let's hope that a lot more capital comes in to this sector. As we were also discussing integration of CSR with business goals, what in my experience I've seen is now the board and the board members are being very, very cautious about how they can integrate, right? What are the business goals? So for example, if we are an IT company, a new initiative that we are working on is a tech-based solution that we are building for persons with disabilities. So, there is a lot of buy-in from the CSR teams as well as the board members as to how do we look at this as, an integrated approach rather than a standalone approach. The other good thing that has happened is that 56% of the firms spent more than 2% mandate. I think more than the capital value here, there is a significant empathy value that is coming in, right? Corporates are not seeing this as just a mandatory, just to give MCA that certificate, but they are really cautious. They really want to see that change, and they see their role as a major one if they are spending more than 2% of the mandate. So I think that talks a lot about how the companies are viewing CSR. And of course, the recent ESG thing that has come up in terms of combining our CSRs with sustainability, environmental changes, and kind of literally seeing it as one approach and not two separate things. So these are some of the things where we feel that we as a country, as corporates, are kind of moving some of the trends. There are a whole lot of other things, I'm sure, which has evolved in a decade from now. So basically, I joined in 2009, the workforce. And in 2015, when I joined Tech Mahindra Foundation, after being in the development sector, teaching in an underprivileged school, and when I was interviewed, I thought I'm joining a corporate. That time for me, it was like, yaar, ye to desk job hoga, kya karna padega? There was not so much of understanding. But now when I interview youngsters, now when I see people talking about CSR, I think the mindset is changing, and that's one of the biggest evolving trends. Some of the challenges that I personally and my colleagues and we at Foundation have experienced and are seeing other CSR also experience, I'm sure I can see a lot of smiles and nods. The whole compliance with the CSR laws, right? How much to spend, where to give, can we carry forward next year, can we not carry forward, unexpected emergencies and all of that. Lot of compliances, and I think there are a lot of small CSRs which are, and even big ones like us, are struggling to catch up with the law. Some implementation gaps, disconnection between the policy and execution. Community involvement, and this is something, it's my personal favorite, right? How are CSRs, how do we make sure that they are actually driving and being in the community? A lot of the CSRs are now getting into direct implementation, right? Which is a good sign, because they then develop the empathy, they understand the ground level, and the NGOs are also willing to give us that space at the table that we want to hear you, apart from just getting your checks, right? So I think, but this is still a challenge, right? There may not be capacity for every CSR professional to get down on the field and get their hands dirty. Transparency issues, fund utilization issues, regional imbalances. Maharashtra currently, it's like a gold mine for CSR. Maharashtra is seeing maximum CSR expenditure for obvious reasons. Mumbai is a financial capital, a lot of companies, but there's a clear imbalance, right? Aspirational districts are still struggling, and for various reasons, we're not able to get there. And limited collaboration, which again, I agree with Ma'am Tushara that, it's tough. Collaboration is not easy. It requires time. It has to be first forced before it becomes organic, and hence it becomes very uncomfortable to get into collaboration. Branding is another issue. I will not call out elephant in the room. I am sure another talk will be required for that. But these are some of the challenges that even we as a CSR are still navigating through. And some of the things that have helped us in all of this is something I would want to focus on. So when the whole finance thing started cropping up, the utilization, we started increasing our portfolio from 10, 12 partners back in 2007 to now 80 plus partners. Clearly, we needed mechanisms to have due diligence in place. We have a dedicated finance team. We have a program management system wherein all our utilization certificates from partner organizations, the budgeting proposals, everything happens through a system. And we have a very comprehensive due diligence, right? So right from very basic documents that we check for our partners to meeting their board members to just making sure that this organization is genuinely wanting to do something good in the field and is aligned with our vision. We have been working on this for quite some time. Our finance team is still stretched because we're doing a lot of direct implementation also. But this is something that has definitely worked in our favor and also appreciated by our partner organizations in the NGO sector. This again is my personal favorite. When I joined the foundation in 2015, I was given the opportunity of doing a project, directly implementing a project, a teacher training project in Thane Municipal Corporation. And I think that gave me a lot of insight into the challenges in the sector, in the education sector and all of that. And I think for us as CSR professionals, this is very, very important. Irrespective of what we are doing, which organizations we are engaging with, getting our hands dirty is the only way to get out there and make our mark and add value to the projects. It's tough, not an easy one again. Not everybody can get out there and have an opportunity like that. But if you are a CSR, if you have a team, or within the parent company, I think it's very important to just really experience how it feels to implement a project or work in the development sector. Collaborations with government and other CSRs. We have very recently started doing this. Apart from our parent company funds, we are externally fundraising. We have a due diligence in place, so the CSRs who may not have the capacity to do all of that, we collaborate with them and we work. Government collaborations, again a tough one. But we have been quite at it, persistent at national level, even state level in some cases. For example, in Odisha, we have an academy for logistics, and the Odisha Skill Development Department is working with us in collaboration for that. So this was something that was a game changer for us because it just helped us understand that we are not alone in this race. It's not a race. We are all going to the same goal. So why not join hands? As far as branding goes, of course, there are some expectations and understanding, but completely doable. Once we align with the partner on this, it really helps to kind of amplify both the voices of the partners. This is another thing that we did as a CSR. We started an in-house learning and development vertical at Tech Mahindra Foundation for our staff as well as our partner NGOs, more for our partner NGOs. And we did a lot of capacity building initiatives for them, right from finance to pedagogy skills, to digital skills, to project management, everything, right? And this is something that we have now opened up to other NGOs, even if they're not our partners. And this was a significant value add that we managed to do. And we saw the change in our partner NGOs also, right? The way they approached the partnership with us. And we also have mental health initiatives, as I was talking about, for our employees and our partner organizations, and even extending to the beneficiaries. We have an in-house counselor. We have an initiative called Heart Talks for Women at Tech Mahindra Foundation, which we recently opened up to all genders. Every quarter we get together, we have a theme, and we kind of let people, let their hair down, share fearlessly and all of that. So we've created these spaces which really help in the age and stage of artificial intelligence, help just build our emotional muscle as well, the whole emotional intelligence bit. So these are some of the ways which we are trying to. We are still not there. Some of the challenges are way beyond anybody's reach to solve, but we are definitely trying through some of these as to how best we can address these. These are some of our collaborative partners that we are collaborating with. So some of the names that you see here are NGOs, other CSRs who are funding us and working with us together, largely in our skill development vertical. One important initiative that I would like to talk about, which is really bringing a lot of stakeholders together, is called the Ability Network. We are looking at building a network for persons with disabilities. Often what happens with them is that through their life stage, they're going to need different, they will have different requirements, right, from education to skilling to transport. And we're looking at a network where PWDs and their caregivers and solution providers can be on the same platform, just like Zomato did for food or Uber and Ola did for cab aggregators. We're looking at how do we get and solve this discovery gap for PWDs and service providers. In that, we are working with the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. We are working with Enable India, Step, and some of the organizations who are established in the field of disability. And I'm spearheading that initiative, and trust me, when it comes to collaboration, I have to confess that it's not easy, because you have to reach out to 10 people, you have to wait for the responses, you have to be very, very patient, rather than being like, okay, let's just get the machinery going without anybody's approval. But very, very satisfying. We'll launch the solution soon in June. But yes, that's where we have been as an organization, and just very, very thrilled. One personal story that I would like to share with you all is that, the fear of joining CSR and turning into the corporate was very real for me in 2015. In my head, the mind shift happened when I removed the corporate from my professional right? I said I'm a social responsibility professional, right? Because the corporate just puts a lot of burden on us to act like corporate. So I started acting more like social responsibility professional, and it changed my mindset, right? I'm no more a corporate just wanting to put funds somewhere. I'm more of a person who wants to now collaborate and bring about a dent in the system in the existing lifetime that I had. Thank you so much. Pleasure being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha ma'am.